Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about everything I wish I knew before I made my first movie. My first movie I ever made, Joy of Horses, is currently out on Amazon Prime Video, Apple TV, Tubi, Roku, YouTube, and more. It is also one of the most popular movies on Tubi. Now, making a movie, especially as a young filmmaker, there's always so much to learn. So today I'm going to walk you guys through everything I wish someone had told me before I made my first movie. My first tip is to use what you already have. Everyone knows making a movie is so expensive, and I feel like the cost really discourages people from wanting to take that step and make their first movie. Don't let the cost of making a movie scare you away from doing it, scare you away from being a filmmaker. There are so many ways to make a movie and to be frugal about it. Many people start with short films, which really helps you get the ideas and get more experience filmmaking. It doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg to make a movie. You can use your resources. You can use cameras you already have. You can get your friends and family and those you know that would want to act and be a part of it. You can use your own locations. You can use your friends' locations. I'd highly encourage you to see who you know who might be willing to be involved, because the chances are there's already so many people you know right now who would love to be a part of it. You just haven't asked them yet. And you know, part of the most expensive parts of making a movie is the locations, is the actors, is the editing. Everything is just so expensive, I know. But when you use your resources, when you use things you already have, like for example, on our movies, you know, like a phone, like everyone uses their real phone as the prop. I really hate that people are so scared to make films because of the cost, because it's expensive, when it doesn't have to be. You can do films on a budget and still make a great film. My next tip is don't be afraid to work backwards. Like I said, we all know so many people are scared of going over budget, or they're scared to make a film because of how much it costs to make. When you work backwards, let's say you have a really nice park in your town, or let's say you have a lake cabin. You can write a story where that is the main location of the film. Instead of coming up with a story and then thinking, okay, now where am I going to film this? Because you already had an idea of where you wanted to film it, it will make it so much easier once it comes to actually making locations, because you already had that in mind. You know what I'm saying? I feel like working backwards in a sense, especially as a first-time filmmaker, an independent filmmaker, is so helpful. When you're writing a role, you have other friends who are actors, you think they would be a good fit for this role. One of my favorite sayings is that a film is a puzzle and you're completing the puzzle, and I feel like working backwards helps that puzzle come together a little faster. Don't be afraid to work backwards. My next tip is to find people who are just as passionate about making a movie as you are. If you're going to be making your own film, that comes with so much patience, and people need to be passionate about it. People need to want to be there, because that's what makes it enjoyable. When everyone around you is so positive and they want to be there as much as you do, it makes for such a good experience. I remember when I made my first movie, I was so proud of myself after we finished filming, but the day after I felt this sadness because I already missed it so much that I was like, okay, I just had this really cool experience and now it's over, and I'm never going to be waking up at 7 a.m. to go to this exact set with this exact group of people again. You know what I mean? And part of that is definitely because everyone is just so positive and so great to be around and really just wanted to make a great film. My next tip is to watch more movies, and watch more movies that have that specific vibe or look that you're going for. Right before I started writing Joy of Horses, I watched a ton of horse movies just to gather inspiration and see for cool shot ideas I can do. In the opening scene of the movie in Joy of Horses, we have a drone shot just overlooking the whole farm, and that is one of my favorite shots of the whole movie. I would highly recommend getting a drone. I feel like it just elevated the production value so much. And of course you don't need to have a drone, but we just rented a drone for a couple of days. It just makes it look so good. It's great for the opening scene of the movie. I love it in Joy of Horses. It's also great for a transition shot too. If you're driving from, let's say the characters are changing locations. I feel like it'd be a great like transition shot as well. My next tip is don't be afraid to start. Sometimes starting is just the hardest part, you know, when you're writing a script or you're thinking of an idea and you're just looking at a blank piece of paper. And then once you have that idea going, you just want to keep going. You want to keep writing. You want to keep going and keep working. Like whenever you have that spark or that drive going, just get on it like right away. And pay attention to when ideas come to you. Sometimes I'm just like going about my day and then I'll see something that inspires me for like a great like movie plot, and so I'll just like jot it down in my notes really quick on my phone, and I just have like a whole list of notes of like potential like scripts that I want to write. My next tip is to focus on your schedule. Scheduling is so important. Make sure you are allowing enough time for all the scenes to be filmed. Certain shots will end up taking you longer than you initially anticipated for. Certain scenes will end up taking you longer to film than you initially thought. So allowing enough time is so important. Don't like overpack your day with like way too many scenes, and then by the end of the day you're like looking at the schedule and you realize, oh wait, I didn't get to this or that. And then you kind of have to work around your schedule for the next week, and then you'll have to find days to do those scenes that you missed because you overpacked your day. So be realistic when you're making your schedule. Make sure you're allowing enough time. I know one day on Joy of Horses, we had an outside scene, but it rained that day, and for continuity we couldn't have it in the rain, of course. So we had to reschedule it for a different day. We like flipped like two days. And for us that ended up working really well because of the locations. For us that worked, but just be prepared for like anything can happen. Anything can like switch up your schedule. Sometimes things will be like pushed back. So just make sure you're prepared. My next tip is don't be afraid of failure. There will be things that come up, things that you didn't anticipate coming up, moments where you're like, okay, I don't know if I can do this anymore. Push through it. A certain set of people who will give up and then their film will never be released. But those people who keep pushing through it, those are the moments that test you. Moments where you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I can do this anymore. Like, keep pushing through it because you will figure it out. After you do push through it, you will be so proud of yourself and so glad you did. Strive for progress, not perfection. Your very first film you ever make, it's not going to look perfect. There's going to be some things about it that you watch back and you're like, oh, I should have done this differently. Oh, I wish I did that. Perfect. Now you know for your next one. Now you'll know what you'll do differently for your next film. My next tip, why hands-on experience is so important. Getting as much experience as possible, whether that's being involved in a student short film, whether that's taking a couple hours out of your day to write your script, whether that's watching videos online on how to improve your craft. Just know the importance of creating your own work. Knowing what it's like in front of the camera, behind the scenes, in the editing room. You will learn so much. My next tip is to do as much pre-production as possible before you make your first film. Doing as much pre-production, which includes scheduling, planning, having all your locations set, getting your actors ready, getting all your props ready, cast and crew ready, your lighting equipment, everything like that. Being as prepared as possible will make the actual production process go so much smoother. You'll have already thought about all these different things. Not as many things will just like pop up and then you'll have to figure it out later because you already thought about it and you already have it figured out. Do as much as you can before you start filming. You will thank yourself later. The next thing I wish I knew is you will wear many hats. Be prepared to wear as many hats as possible and know that many roles and things will come up and you'll just have to step up and do it yourself. And I think that's the beauty of filmmaking. I think that you'll get better at so many different things that you didn't even think about before. That's it. That is everything I wish I knew before I made my first film. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from this video. I hope you gathered some knowledge that you can carry with you when you make your next film. Make sure you're following my production company on Instagram, Ava Justin Productions. That's where I'm posting all of my filmmaking content and all of my movies and all things film. Make sure you're following my main Instagram, Ava Justin, as well. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more film videos. and stay tuned for my next video.